Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorian and today I have a book haul for you guys. So I haven't done a book haul since March and I have acquired quite a few books since then. I haven't counted them yet. I'll probably count them once I'm done filming, so I'll let you guys know how many by the end of this video, or it'll be in the title, but it's a lot. I have like 3 huge piles of books here, so once I'm done this I'll count them all and it'll probably also be in the title of this video, but there's a lot. So since there's a lot of books, I'm not going to give very detailed synopses of each book. If I have read it, then I'll be able to tell you guys more about what it's about, but for the ones I haven't read, I'll just give a brief summary of what I even know about the book. A lot of these are also gifts, so I will mention who gave me which books, obviously, and they will be linked in the description if they are a booktuber. So yeah, let's just get started because there's a lot of books to talk about. So the first book I have, we're starting on a great note. It's One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. The funny thing with this book is that I had pre-ordered it, and I pre-ordered it back in January, and then I guess I forgot that I had pre-ordered it, so then I pre-ordered it again. How many times can I say pre-order? I pre-ordered it again in April, I think. So the day it came out, I got 2 copies in the mail and I was very confused until I looked it up and I realized I had pre-ordered it twice. So I gave 1 copy away to my friend and we buddy read it, and neither of us liked it that much. I think she gave it 3 stars. I gave it 2. Did I give it 2 or 2.5 stars? Either way, I didn't really like this book very much. This follows this girl named August who has recently moved to New York City, and every time she gets on the train, there is a girl named Jane there, and August is wondering how it could be possible that every single time she goes on the train, this girl is in the same car as her. Well, it turns out that Jane has been displaced from the 70s and she doesn't know why, and August is trying to figure out how to get her off this train because she's basically like stuck on the train, and then they kind of fall in love and it's a love story, and I didn't really like this book very much, but this is not a wrap-up. Check out my July? Did I even... We're in July. Oh my god. Check out my June wrap-up for more thoughts on this book, but yeah, didn't like it very much. I do love Casey McQuiston's other book, Red, White, and Royal Blue. This one was a bit of a miss for me, so yeah, but now I have it, so. The next book was a gift from my friend Mick, and she is so sweet. This was a birthday present, but she went through so much to get this for me because she had ordered something from Amazon first, and then I can't remember if it got lost or Amazon just canceled the order. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think she had ordered something twice from Amazon and it didn't work out either time. So then she got this from Book Depository and it took forever to get to me. So it finally came, so thank you so much, Mick, for getting this for me. I know how bad she felt, so thank you so much, Mick. I really appreciate it. But that is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I read this book last year and it was one of my favorite books of 2020. I loved this book so much. You're following this character named Linus, who is a caseworker. He basically goes to different orphanages that house these magical children and just makes sure that everything is up to code, everyone's being taken care of properly, everything like that. Everything is running smoothly, and he is chosen for this top secret mission to go to this orphanage that is on top of a Cerulean Sea, as you can see, and the children there have magical abilities that no one has ever really seen before, and he has to go and basically decide whether these children are too dangerous to be kept here, and if the guy running the orphanage, I guess, if he is doing a good job running it, all of that. And it's just a magical, whimsical story. I'm sure most people know this book by now, so thank you so much, Mick, for getting this to me. I very much appreciate it. The next book was a gift from Lisa, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This one I have not read yet, and I know it's like so hyped on BookTube. I'm so excited to read it one day. I am definitely very intimidated because I heard that it's a lot, that it can be confusing, so I definitely want to wait until I'm in the right mindset to read this, but I did just read Priory, so feeling pretty confident right now. All I know is that this follows a world where there's like apocalypses almost that happen, and like the world kind of ends every certain amount of years. That could be completely wrong, I don't know. And I think you're following 3 different perspectives, and one of them is in second person, which I'm very interested to read, and I've just heard such amazing things about this book and I can't wait to read it one day. So thank you very much, Lisa, for this, and I think we might buddy read it too when we read it, so that might help if we're confused. But yeah, Thank you very much, Lisa. The next book is a book I got very recently. I think this is the most recent book that I've hauled, but that is Pachinko by Minjin Lee. I got this from my work and I am just so excited to read this book. This follows a Korean family and you follow them throughout their whole life, and I love stories that follow characters throughout their entire life, as long as the characters are obviously written well. But everyone has been raving about this book. I know Sydney read it recently and loved it, so I am so excited to read this. I have a feeling it's going to be a new favorite of mine, and I've been really wanting to read more historical fiction lately, so I'm just very excited to get to this one. So the next 3 books that I have are actually physical arcs that I've gotten. They're the very first physical arcs I've ever received, and I am very, very grateful for them. The first one I haven't read yet. And it came out in May, but to be fair, this one I was sent kind of unsolicited, so it's not my fault. But the first one is Find You First by Linwood Barkley. I honestly don't remember too much what this is about, but this is from HarperCollins Canada, so thank you so much to them for sending this to me. I think this is about this guy who had donated his sperm at a sperm bank like a long time ago, and then like his sperm was used to produce several children. Is that the proper way to say that? I don't know. Then it seems like someone is like targeting all his children and murdering them. And so he's trying to figure out why this is happening. I don't know, something like that. Apparently the author is like a very prolific like thriller author. I don't know, I haven't heard anything about this book. I have seen it at work and people have bought it, so I guess people like it. I don't know, but I do want to read this eventually because it was sent to me and I'm very grateful for that, so we'll see what I think about it. It's also pretty big, so I don't know when I'll get to it, but yeah. We'll see. The next book was sent to me from Sourcebooks Fire, and that is What We Devour, and they sent me this art copy and they sent me a finished copy, so I am very grateful for that. Thank you so much to everyone at Sourcebooks Fire for sending this to me. I was sent this book because Lindsay Miller had tweeted one day asking if there were any Ace reviewers who wanted early copies of the books because the main character is Ace, and I responded to her tweet and then they sent me the book, so thank you so much to Lindsay Miller. This book I have read. You might know that I struggled through this book just because I was very confused during the whole thing. I don't even know how to really explain this. This is a YA, very dark fantasy, heavy trigger warnings for self-harm in this book, like really heavy. There's some pretty graphic scenes in this book, and you're basically following our main character who has this very special power where she has powers from these 2 gods, the Noble and the Vile. Yes, the Noble and the Vile, and most people have powers from either the Noble or the Vile, but she has them from both, which is very rare. And essentially if she like sacrifices something, then she is able to either create or destroy something else, and she's kind of chosen from the like heir to the throne to help him because there's this door that is supposed to open, and if it opens then the Vile will be released.
That's all, folks.
And wreak havoc on the world, something like that. So she has to use her powers to help keep the door closed. Honestly, I was very confused by this book, so that's the best synopsis I can give. But this came out very recently. It came out July 6th. Yeah, July 6th. So you guys can go pick this up now. Hopefully people like it. I gave it 3 stars. Like, I didn't hate this book or anything, but hopefully people like it more than I did and find it less confusing. But yeah, again, thank you so much to Sourcebooks Fire for sending me the arc and the finished copy of this book. The last arc I got was also from HarperCollins Canada because I'm part of their influencer program, and that is Such a Good Wife by Serafina Nova Glass. And I did read this book. I honestly don't remember too much about it. I think I read it back in May or maybe even April, but I think it was May. This follows this housewife who is living this like picture perfect life. She is happily married. She has 2 wonderful kids, but she is kind of feeling stuck in her life. She feels like she doesn't really have a purpose or anything. She feels very like bored in her marriage until she meets this writer one day and they start this affair, and then the writer turns up dead. She's trying to hide the affair from the world because then that would make her a suspect, and things go on from there. I thought this book was very average. Like, the twists at the end didn't really get me at all. Like, everything was pretty predictable, so I didn't love this book. This book comes out in August, I think. Yeah, this book comes out August 10th, apparently, so if you want to get it, you can. I gave it 3 stars, I think, or maybe even 2.5, I don't remember, but this was just very average for me. But yeah, thank you to HarperCollins Canada for sending me this one. The next book I have is quite beautiful. It is The Picture of Dorian Gray, and it is this cloth-bound Penguin Classics edition. Look how beautiful this is. Once I saw this edition, I knew that if I ever was going to own this book, I wanted this one. Do I know too much about what this book is about? not really. I know it's about obviously this guy named Dorian Gray, and I think he paints himself, but then the painting ages but he doesn't, something like that. But I've heard from a lot of people that it's one of their favorite classics, and it's also like one of the most accessible classics, like it's very easy to read. So I don't know, I'm very excited to read this and I love this edition very much. Next I have the Tea Dragon Tapestry by Kay O'Neill. I love this series so much. This is the third book in the Tea Dragon series, and this is also the last book, and I thought it was such a beautiful conclusion. I have read this already and I show off the art all the time when I talk about these books, but like just look at the colors and the art. So I also love the representation in this book. There's lots of characters of different races, different sexualities. There's characters with disabilities. There's just such great representation in this book, and I love this series so much, and I can't wait to reread this series again and again, and yeah, I love it very much. Oh, I didn't say what it's about. You're following this group of people who have these tea dragons, and the tea dragons are very cute, and you can make tea from the leaves that grow from their antlers and see their memories, and it's just all very cute, and yeah, I love it very much. Next, we have a gift from my friend Sydney from Sid Bookworm, and that is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takuta Hall. This was Sydney's actually first book club pick for her Patreon book club, and she was very nice and very silly and got this for me. She's very silly, but thank you so much, Sydney, in this book. So obviously I have already read this. I read it last month, and this, you're following two characters, Florin/Flora and what's her name? Evelyn, and they meet on this boat, which Flora or Florian, they are gender fluid, so they go by both names, but Flora works on this boat and Evelyn is going on the boat to end up meeting her future husband that she is in an arranged marriage with. But then there's certain things that happen. I don't know how to describe this book, but I feel like that's all I'm gonna say. And I really liked this book. I loved the writing. I can't wait to read more from Maggie Takuta Hall, and also this cover is beautiful. So I definitely recommend this book, especially because I find it's very underhyped on BookTube. So definitely recommend this one. It was a pretty good story, and it's beautiful. So yeah. The next book is technically not even out yet. I have no idea why I got this book early. Like, it's not an ARC or anything. My pre-order came early, but that is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This is actually the Winer's book club pick for August, so I will be reading this next month, and I don't know too much about what it's about, but I've heard it's kind of a Mulan retelling. I don't know if it's actually a Mulan retelling, but I think it's inspired by that. I think there's a woman who has to dress up as a boy to go into the army. I think she takes the place of her brother, maybe? But that's all I really know, but I am so excited to read this book. I think it's gonna be amazing. I've heard amazing things from people who have read it already, and this cover, again, is just stunning, so I'm very excited about this one. The next book is a gift from my friend Molly from Mind of Molly. They are very sweet and also very silly, but I got The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This is the second book, I think, from Alex Michaelides. He also wrote The Silent Patient, which I really liked. I didn't love as much as everyone else did, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one more. I can't really tell you why. I just have a feeling. I honestly don't know too much about what it's about. I know there's murder at a school, I think. I don't know, but I'm very excited. I've heard really good things. I know Molly loves this book, so I'm very excited to read it, so thank you very much, Molly. I know there's another book from Molly coming up, so I will mention them again in a second. The next book I have is Burn by Patrick Ness. I think this book came out like at the end of 2020, something like that, and I honestly don't know too much about what it's about, but I think it's about someone who works on a farm and they have a dragon that helps them on the farm. Like, that's all I really want to know. After reading Priory, I just want to read all the dragon books, but I actually haven't heard too much about whether people liked this book or not. So if you have read this, let me know if you liked it, but I am very excited to read this. And again, another beautiful cover, and I also really want to start reading books by Patrick Ness, so can't wait to read this one as well. Next, I have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and I have it in this very cute vintage classics edition. This was a gift from Pris on Twitter because I won one of the giveaways that she did, so thank you so much, Pris, for this. I can't wait to read this book. I recently read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, but it was for a secret video, so I cannot give my thoughts on it, but very excited to read this one as well. This one I don't know too much about. I never saw the movie for this, so I don't know it as well as Pride and Prejudice. I think you're following two sisters? I think. That's all I know. I'm sure there's gonna be romance. I'm sure it's gonna be very funny. Jane Austen is very funny, so can't wait to read this. And it's just so cute. I love this version. I know you can't see it super well in this lighting, but it's very cute, I promise. Next is the other gift that Molly gave me, so thank you very much again, Molly. And they also gifted me Pages & Co. by Anna James. This is a middle grade book about a girl who can travel into books. Like, what more could you want? I don't know, but I am so excited to read this, and I've heard a lot of people rave about this book and this series, so I am very excited to read this. And once again, a very cute cover, so thank you so much, Molly, again for gifting this to me. You are an angel and I love you. Thank you. Next is actually the book that I am currently reading, and that is Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. This is the Winer's book club pick for July, so you still have time to read this before our live show, which I don't know when it will be yet, probably the first week of August or something like that, so stay tuned for that. But this was also a gift from Jess from Books Past Bedtime. She gifted this to me after I reached 1K, so thank you so much, Jess. I love you so much. I just love all these people so much. I'm sorry for gushing, but it's true. But this book is about these two sisters, Jane and June. I keep getting their names mixed up. Jane and June, and they've kind of grown apart. They used to be really close, but they haven't really spoken in the past like 2 years, I think. June just kind of shows up suddenly one day and she reveals to Jane that she has cancer. And so now Jane feels like she should take care of her, and this book just kind of explores their sisterly relationship, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm only about like halfway through, not even, so stay tuned for my thoughts on this one, and make sure you join our live show if you want to read this book with us. So yeah. The next book I have, we already know how I feel about this book. I just kind of showed it over here. But that is In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. We all know how I feel about this book. It's my favorite book that I've read so far this year. I love this book so much. I tabbed it up. Can you see them? I don't know, but I love this book so much. You're following this blood mage named Roven, and in this world, if you are a blood mage, then you are assigned a guardian who is basically kind of like a ghost. They're dead, and they're assigned to you, and they follow you wherever you go to protect you, and Roven does not want this. She wants to be free, so she keeps the fact that she's a blood mage a secret until one day she uses her powers in public to save one of her friends. So she's brought to the palace and is assigned a guardian, and we go from there. And this book is just amazing. I love A.M. Strickland's writing so much. Obviously I love their other book, Beyond the Black Door, so much. That's like my second favorite book of this year, so I just love this book. And there's also great rep in this book. Roven is pansexual, and she also is in a polyamorous relationship in this book. We have a side character who is a lesbian. We have another side character who is panromantic and asexual and non-binary. Like, ugh, I just love this book so much. So if you haven't read this yet, please read it. Again, this is not a wrap-up, but I just love this book so much. So, and again, the cover, beautiful, stunning, amazing. We love it. The next few books I have here are from my friend Salma. She was unhauling some books and asked if I wanted any of them. So I took 3 books from her. The first one is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. This is like such a cute mass market paperback. It's like such a rectangular shape. I love it. And I honestly don't know too much about what this is about. I know it's a like mystery thriller, and it's by the same author who wrote Girl on the Train, which I never read. I saw the movie. I didn't like the movie, so I hope I like this. I think Salma liked it. I don't remember what she said, but I think Books and Lala likes this book. But I don't know too much about what it's about, but I'm excited to read it. I don't know. The next book she gave me was When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This has been on a few TBRs of mine now, and I still haven't gotten to it, and I need to read this for one of the secret videos that I'm doing. I'm so behind. It's fine, but this follows this neighborhood that is currently being gentrified, but as I think there's also something more sinister going on, and I've heard amazing things about this book, so I cannot wait to read it. I just need to read it. Like, what's wrong with me? I don't know, but can't wait to read this one. And finally we have Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. Once again, I don't know too much about what this is about. This is another mystery thriller, I think. I've never read a book by Lisa Jewell, but I've heard pretty good things about her. I mean, I've heard she's pretty hit or miss, but I think a lot of people like this one. I think this is her most recent release, I think. So I'm excited to try it out. I don't know what it's about, but I mean, that's the best way to go into a thriller, right? When you don't know what it's about, so it's fine. So thank you so much, Salma, for giving me these books. I love you also. Okay, we're getting close to the end, I promise. But the next book I have is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is her newest release, and I am so excited to read this. I am really hoping I can get this read during the summertime because, as you can probably tell from the cover, this is a very summery vibes book. This follows the children of Mick Riva, who, by the way, is one of the husbands from 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So there's a little tidbit right there. I mean, I think most people know that by now, but Anyway, so it's following his children and their house. Like, they throw this big party and then by the end of the night their house is in flames, and I guess we just find out what happened that night. I don't know. I guess there's surfing in this book too, but I've heard amazing things, again, from people who have read it, so very excited to get to this one. I love Daisy Jones and the Six, and Evelyn Hugo was like kind of just okay for me, so I'm excited to see what I think about this one, but hopefully I can maybe squeeze it into my August TBR. We'll see, but yes. Very excited. The next book I have is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is actually, it wasn't really a gift, but it's from my brother. He bought it like a while ago, and then after I read Scythe, he was like, I have the second one, do you want it? And I was like, okay. So thanks. Thanks to my brother for giving me this book. But like I just said, this is the second book in the Arc of a Scythe series. It comes after Scythe, obviously, and that is for another secret video that I'm doing. One day I'll be done with these secret videos. One day. But yeah, so I can't tell you what I thought about the first book, but I am interested to see where the series goes after that ending. That's all I'll say. But yeah, thank you, Zachary, I guess, for giving this to me. Next I have one of the most beautiful covers I think I've ever seen, but that is Blaze Wrath Games by Amparo Ortiz. And like, first of all, look at this cover. We need more pink covers, like bright pink, okay? You hear me? Again, I don't know too much about what this book is about, but look, there's dragons on the cover and we love that. I love dragons, obviously, so I'm very excited. I've heard people compare this to How to Train Your Dragon. I've heard people say it's like How to Train Your Dragon meets something, but my mind just goes blank after I hear How to Train Your Dragon because of how much I love that movie. So that's all I needed to hear to read this book, so I am very excited to read this one. And I think the second one comes out soon, so maybe I'll try to read this soon in time for the second book. I don't know, but I'm very excited. Again, very excited about all of these. Okay, we have two more books. Everyone stay calm. The next book I have is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I am so excited to read this book. I can't believe I haven't read it already. Like, I'm surprised I didn't just read it as soon as I got it because The Martian is one of my favorite books of all time. I love that book so much. It is so funny and just so amazing. And I love the movie too, but honestly, do I know what this is about? Not really. I know it's another science fiction. We got someone in space up here. I think it involves amnesia. Like, I think an astronaut wakes up on his mission and all of his like fellow crewmates are dead, but he doesn't know what happened. I think it's something like that. So I'm very interested and I've heard really good things about it. So very excited to read this one. Hopefully I can read it soon, just like all of these books, and just watch a year from now I will only have read half of them. I don't know, but very excited to read this one. And last but definitely not least, we have The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. I am so excited about this book. Is it mostly because of this absolutely stunning cover? Maybe so, but I've also heard really good things about this book. All I know is that it's a sci-fi about these two sisters and they're trying to do something. I don't know what, but I'm very excited about it. Like, look at this cover. Look at it. It's so pretty. So yeah, very excited about this one as well. So those are all the books that I have acquired since March. It is very possible that I've missed something, but I think that's everything. So I'm really sorry if I'm forgetting something, but also, how would you know? I don't know. Oh, I should count them now. Okay, one moment. I am going to count these books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There are exactly 25 books here, so a pretty big haul. But yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of these books, if I should prioritize any of them, what you thought about them. Just let me know any of that down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!